Good afternoon. I'm Marty Dickens, and I have the privilege of serving as chairman of the Board of Trustees. And you know, this has been an unbelievable week. For 3 days, I've gotten to say one of my favorite lines: this is another great day in the life of Belmont University. And I'll never get tired of saying that. You know, the truth is, it doesn't take a dedication of a building for it to be a great day in the life of Belmont. It's just a great place to be associated with, but it is a special day today. And as always, we like to start off any proceeding that we undertake with thanks to God for what's about to happen. So join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day, and we thank you for the blessing of being associated with Belmont University. We thank you for this new building that we're dedicating today that will serve so many students this day and all the days ahead. We thank you for all the people involved, from design to conception to actually making it happen, and for protecting those working on this building each and every day. We ask that all we do with this building will glorify you, that you will be pleased. We thank you for the opportunity. It's in Christ's name that we ask these things. Amen. And now I'd like to call up Dr. Fisher.
Well, thank you, and welcome to everyone. It was 3 years ago, almost to the day, when at the opening convo, I announced we're going to build a new building. And everybody yawns, like, okay. But this one was different, and we took, the charge was to all of the arts and sciences and humanities and the School of Religion and several other colleges, 2 other colleges on campus. Do you want to be in this building? And if you do, tell us what you can do better there than anyone else. And it became a sort of a project for all the faculty and the staff to describe why they needed new space and what they would use this new space for. And the acid test was to the benefit of our students. How can you serve our students better with this? And it was the biggest article that I've generated in my time here at Belmont in the Chronicle of Higher Education. And it said, the headlines was, if you build it, somebody will figure out what to do with it, was a headline in the spirit of today's journalism. It briefly described what we did, and I still have the comments that came with that. I usually don't read, I try not to read comments after articles. But I started reading these. First one said, you need to fire the president if he doesn't know what to do with new space, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, fire the board, Marty, and I knew they were wrong. I knew they were wrong about that. But what happened then was we listened to what the faculty and staff and some of the alumni told us. And Dr. Thomas Burns really led that effort, that listening effort. What do we need to do here, and what could we do here for the benefit of our students? And there were hundreds of ideas, and our lead architect David Minigan's back there, and he knows there was hundreds of ideas, and most of them were good ideas, things that made sense. The 5-story climbing wall did not make the cut. But people said they wanted, in this building, they wanted some natural light. Well, when you get inside, you'll see we put windows just about anywhere we could in this building. They wanted modern labs. There are, Dr. Burns, where'd you go? He's running now. He's 26? Is that the right number? Oh, just 22. About 20. World-class, state-of-the-art physics, chemistry, and biology labs in here, as well as labs for our public relations program and for other functions that go on here. So we wanted study space for students to study and just hang out, and you'll see all around this building some wonderful spaces for students. They wanted food, and they wanted Starbucks. Got it, check. They wanted it to be a green building. We said, no, all our buildings are either this limestone or this brick. But it's a green building. I assure you, not only do we have green roofs, there's all colors up there, all sorts of beautiful wildflowers growing on the roofs, and I hope you get a chance to look at that. We have a system, Mr. Mayor, that captures the water runoff and uses it for irrigation, provides most of our irrigation needs on campus. When we can keep the motors running, that's on us. There's a LEED certification application in, not for silver, not for gold, but for platinum. And I think we got to points, and I look forward to hearing what the certifiers think. So I just want to thank the faculty and staff and the students and all the leadership team for what happened here. And when you get inside, I promise you, if you don't say wow, then come on, it's like you're doing too much. You're riding too many roller coasters or something if this doesn't wow you. And I just want to thank a host of people for this, and I want to read the list. But I want to start because I cannot forget that Judy Fisher has spent 1,000 hours working on this project. She spent like 200 in the last 3 weeks on working on furniture issues and working through that, working with people, and that's not an easy task. Just helping people to move and helping them figure out how things work differently here. And I just want to thank Judy for what she's done. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. As usual, on the very back row and sitting down because I know how tired she is. And I also see Bill Trivett back here, who's been our project coordinator and owner's rep sort of person on this job. And Bill works beautifully with the builders and the architects and all. And Bill, thank you so much for your leadership. And I only meant for Judy to get applause by herself. If you'll hold your applause until we've read the rest of the list, I'd appreciate that. We have from the Student Government Association, our Madam President, Jeanette Moreland, Skylar Shemansky, Phil Heil, Jonathan Rankin, and Justin Smith. Thank you all for being here. Harry Allen's here, who is the Alumni Board President, along with Louis Boyd and Kelly Moreland Jones, who, by the way, already has a space named for her family. That's what I'm talking about. We can clap for that. We have numerous faculty and staff members here, and today I think we're joined by 3 Emeriti faculty who don't have offices in here, but I'm so glad you came to see what you missed. Dr. David Driscoll, David Hill, and Jim Stamper, all have been a part of this family of colleges for many, many years. I want to thank R.C. Matthews, Walker Matthews, Dan Calhoun, and Jackie McPeak right there sitting on the steps. Jackie is the guy who has, I guess, worked on this campus without leaving for several years, maybe 8 years, longer, building all of this stuff, overseeing the construction. He's the guy on the ground every day. And I promise you, all of you, you'd be better off if he was president of Belmont, because he manages things so amazingly well. And we've memorialized Jackie in the rotunda of the law school. If you get a chance, he is the soldier who, in the sculpture, they used Jackie as the model for that. So I don't know how you could hope for more in life. But thank you, Jackie. From the Lee Company, Richard Brewer, Stuart Price, and David Warren, along with Amy Cathy. We appreciate Lee and all you do. And then, of course, from the, I think, brilliant architects and patient and tolerant and forgiving architect. They even gave me my own official architectural seal. And when I retire, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go work for them. I'm going to use. Come on, Dick. It says yes. But today from Swenson is Sandy Dickerson, Dick Miller, Daryl Lambert, David Gilbert, and David Minigan. And from IC Thomason, we have Shane Kirby. From the Metro Council, Frank Harrison's here, and our rep, Berkeley Allen, is here. I appreciate all she's done to help us work through the process, and appreciate the cooperation of the whole city. From the Metro Department of Water and Sewer Services, the Peninsula Gilbert's here. From NASBA, Adam Hershik, and especially want to recognize, there used to be houses right here, and they're not here anymore. And one of the houses that was really a landmark, and because of sort of the landmark couple that lived there, was the church house, which is just right off by the corner here. And we just want to welcome the churches to this today. They went down and saw where their house used to be already, I think Jimmy did. And we appreciate you all, and we're glad you're here. And several neighbors here, thank you all for coming. I just thought Norma Gabhart's here today, and this would have been your building as well, a retired professor, and I'm sure I'm missing some people out there. Forgive me. Thank you all for being here. And I would give a special shout out today to Commander Loki from the Midtown Precinct. They'll be cutting a ribbon on Monday. This guy cuts ribbons about every day. But this is a big deal for Belmont and for our community. We're really excited to have that precinct just down the street. And Commander Loki, we look forward to working with you. It's now my privilege to hand over the microphone to Dr. Bryce Sullivan, who will make a few comments and then introduce the other deans who will be in charge of making this building work. It's you. Who's first?
Good afternoon to the Belmont community and to our distinguished guests. It's certainly my pleasure to welcome you here today, and it's an honor to represent the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences here. This building is the heart of this great university, and the faculty, the staff, and the students of the College of Sciences and Mathematics, the College of Theology and Christian Ministry, and the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, I believe, are the building's lifeblood, or will be. The academic programs that reside on this prominent site overlooking the core of campus and also the community are emblematic of our mission and our vision. Nicholas Lehman, who is former dean of journalism at Columbia University, said, "Liberal education is education that liberates, that frees the mind from the constraints of a particular moment and set of circumstances, that permits one to see possibilities beyond those that are immediately apparent, to understand things in a larger context, to think about situations conceptually and analytically, and to draw upon a base of master knowledge when faced with specific situations. It equips students for life far more richly and completely than does an education whose sole aim is to be useful. As professors, we help our students train their minds to make connections beyond what's in their textbooks. The ideals of a college education we embrace are about a love of learning and exploration of culture and science and self and society and so much more. At Belmont University, we add to that a crucial dimension which is missing in most places, and that is we seek to know God, and we desire that our students would know Him too. We want students to learn principles and ways of knowing that apply across different situations and occupational domains. Through education, we want our students to be liberated from a short-sighted focus on the here and now, and we want them to transcend the self-centered concerns they might have and learn about the values of service and citizenship. At Belmont, the study in the liberal arts, which includes, frankly, all of the programs that are housed in this building, they serve the needs both that are pressing today and tomorrow. We address the world's big and enduring questions through our teaching and scholarship, our creative endeavors, and our community engagement. We explore questions about democracy and society, questions that are related to technology and scientific revolutions, questions about education and equity, and bigger questions, global questions. Liberal education learning goals are essential to our ever-changing global environment. These buildings around us and the university's reputation and stature that they reflect demonstrate that God has blessed this community beyond, I think, what we could have ever dreamed or imagined. I thank God for this university where the best of liberal arts and professional education are brought together in a Christian community of learning and service. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tom Spence, who's the inaugural dean of the College of Sciences and Mathematics.
Yep, my name is Tom Spence. I'm the new guy. I'm up here representing sciences and mathematics. I know those are subjects that don't always engender a lot of warm, fuzzy feelings for people. I'm sure you can remember sitting in a lecture hall, listening to an instructor, grappling with really profound questions like, why are they making me study this? I'm never going to use it. How do they ever find somebody that get this excited over mitosis? But I hope you do take an opportunity today to look through this building. You're going to see state-of-the-art lecture halls where our own students will grapple with some of those same questions. But you're also going to see some very special spaces. If you walk through this building, you'll see a math lab, a computer science lab, a zebrafish lab, an acoustics lab, a laser lab, an organic chemistry research laboratory. By my count, there are 11 teaching laboratories and 8 research laboratories on the 3rd and 4th floors alone. Those are very special spaces to me and folks in my areas. They're places where we get to spend one-on-one time with our students. We impart our enthusiasm for the sciences to our students. We engage them in the active role of actually being scientists rather than just learning about science. We teach them how to take that knowledge that they gain in the classroom and put it to practical application. This in turn makes our students better critical thinkers, more creative problem solvers, makes them men and women who can see the complexity behind the problems they're going to face as they move forward in life. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I want to go quickly. I'll finish with this. I was once admonished by some architects that you get one opportunity, if you're lucky, in your career to design and build a building like this. And you get to define what it looks like once, and then when you cut the ribbon and you start moving to that building will define who you are as an institution. And to steal a line from my new boss, I really do feel that this building will define or help define Belmont as a place that puts students and student learning at the center of everything that we do. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce my new colleague, Dr. Daryl Gwalding, who is the Dean of the College of Theology and Christian Ministry.
We have carved this building out of stone and air with the hands God has made for us. We reshaped the stone and moved the air around to fill it with a building that we now call Wedgewood Academic Center. Amazing things will happen in this building. Young men and women will gather for classes with faculty who have dedicated their lives to the incomparable gift of discovery. Everyone will learn in this building, and each of us will be better human beings for it. Others from every imaginable vocation will work to ensure classroom conversations happen without distraction. From this day forward, this building will host conversations about biology, education, ministry, chemistry, political science, physics, theology, history, English, the foreign languages, and on and on and on. Beyond the classrooms, in the many common areas inside and outside, students and faculty will gather to continue the discussions of the ideas that are dancing across their minds. This building will be an electric place for the exchange of ideas. Only God knows the eternal fruits of the ideas planted among the lives that will do their work here. Let us remember, though, that the space we have carved out of stone and reshaped into this building was made first by God. Long before the first classes were ever held at Belmont University, and long before there was such a great city known as Nashville, God made this place by laying the stone with God's own hands and filling the air with God's divine breath. It is fitting as a Christian community of learning and service that at almost the very center of this building, just off the rotunda on the first floor, you will notice the Frederick Hart sculpture Ex Nihilo, the original of which is on the west facade of the National Cathedral, in Washington, D.C. It serves as an apt reminder that the Creator God was the one who brought order out of chaos. And this very same God gave us the responsibility of caring for all that He had created. We are stewards of all that God has given us. And this very building stands as a witness to the glory of God lived out in the stewardship of our lives. Visionary, skilled architects, engineers, and contractors shaped this glorious building. Visionary leaders and administrators imagined it, and out of wise stewardship, made it possible. In recent weeks, faculty and staff have been preparing to fill it with the stewardship of their lives. And finally, the students come. Young men and women ready to submit their lives to the glorious task of transforming the world with disciplined intelligence, compassion, courage, and faith. May the glory be to the God who strengthens us with the good news and the gift of Jesus Christ. May the glory be to the God who alone is wise. And may the glory be to Him through Jesus Christ forever. Amen.
You know, I often say the best thing about Belmont is that we're in Nashville, Tennessee. I have a lot of colleagues that say, how can you attract all these students? Well, they want to come to Nashville. And you know, the best thing about Nashville, Tennessee is our mayor, Carl Dean. Thank you, Mayor Dean, for being here and for being at all our events and for supporting us in all that we do.
Well, thank you, Bob, and good afternoon to all of you. There are really many reasons to celebrate the opening of this grand building today. And first and foremost on my mind is just what a wonderful community partner, what a wonderful citizen Belmont University is. I spend a lot of time here. I spend a lot of time breaking ground. I spend a lot of time cutting ribbons, and that's a really good thing. When I think back of my 7 years now as mayor, you may recall I was elected in '07, and shortly after I was elected, and really, believe me, unrelated to my election, the country went into the deepest recession it has known since the Great Depression. And you look for any silver lining, you look for any good news, and good news kept pouring out of Belmont. You look around you here and you can see all the buildings that have been built. You see the vision of Dr. Fisher come alive. You've seen this university attract all sorts of national attention, and it has been wonderful. It has been wonderful for the city. I think back to 2010, I think of the flood. The helicopters landed over here. We held our press conferences here at Belmont. Belmont was part of our emergency response. Belmont has been there with the presidential debate, which was a huge moment in our city's history, and I am so thankful for that. So today we can celebrate this day for the beauty and size of this building, for its green architecture. We can celebrate it for the jobs it created. But for me, the building represents something bigger than its size. It represents an investment in people and place. As technology continues to make online communication and interaction easier and more prominent, we're also rediscovering something that we should have known all along, the importance of people and place. We are seeing that every day in Nashville, creative people want to be near other creative people, and they want to do that in a space that encourages face-to-face interactions. People are coming to Nashville because of the energy that comes from entrepreneurs, healthcare pioneers, songwriters, and artists, and great universities like this one. Belmont has never forgotten the importance of people in place, so it has invested greatly in both. Since 2000, the number of full-time staff at Belmont has increased 76%. 178 more full-time professors teach here than taught here 14 years ago. During that time, the university has built 16 new buildings, residence halls, theaters, classroom space, and student activity buildings that bring people together. In this new building, biologists will encounter theologians, mathematicians will encounter poets. Students will encounter one another and ideas in a space that supports learning and creativity. Thank you to Belmont for investing in people and place. Nashville is a much better and richer place because of you. Thank you.
And I love that the mayor mentioned Dr. Burns as one of his favorite phrases for when mathematicians run into poets and scientists run into theologians. It's spontaneous, planned collisions. And that's what we're hoping for in this building and what we know will come from it.